Here we have top 5 most used architecture, and which every developer right now using, and in the market it is very popular. First one we have a model view controller, microservices. Third we have layer architecture. Fourth we have representational state transfer, and fifth we have a event driven architecture. So in this we have to discuss each and every step one by one. And this is basically, I can say, most properly I'm right now using the model view controller. And microservices basically used for the wide application purpose. Layer architecture, like it is traditional way, but it is similar. We have a like in the MVCs, but little bit different. Just we are adding one more layer, that is database layer. And for the API creation and all, we have a REST, representational state transfer protocol, and architecture, I can say. So in the first we have a model view controller, and it is like widely used architecture pattern that separate application into three interconnected component. First we have a model. So model is like represent the data and business logic. View is used for the display the data to the user, and controller it is handle the user input, interact with the model, and update the view accordingly. Second, we have a microservices. In the microservices architecture, it is break down a complex application into smaller independent services that communicate with each other through the API, and each service is responsible for a specific business capability and can be developed and deployed and scaled independently. For the example, right now we have a Amazon. In the when we are order something in the Amazon, we have a different services like order, confirm, payment services. So all these we are say like it is breaking as a microservices architecture, and for the each request we have a separate API, and they are calling each and every request response on their particular layer, I can say. Third, we have a layer architecture, and in layer architecture, an application is divided into multiple layer. Layer is responsible for a specific functionality. Like common layer include the presentation layer, business logic layer, and data storage. So each layer interact with the adjacent layer and provide the separation of concern and modularity. It is similar. We have a like model view type of, but yeah, we have a like database repository pattern over there. So just little bit we are connecting over there for the each and every step, I can say. Next, we have a REST architecture, I can say, and it is like for designing, I can say, basically we are mostly using the API creation. So this architecture widely used while we are creating the API services. So it is designed like network application purpose, and it is utilize the HTTP method for the create, read, update, and delete operation on the resource. And RESTful APIs are stateless and provide a clear structure for the data exchange between the client and server. Next, we have a event-driven architecture, and in the event-driven architecture, component communicate by providing or producing the consuming events, and event are messages or notification about changes or action that have occurred. And this pattern is used to create the system that can be respond to changes in the real time or asynchronously. I will give you some question to you, like if you are a developer, you already know what is the REST API, why we are creating, and what is the difference between the stateless and the stateful. If you know, please comment it down here. And for the event driven architecture real life application, uh, there is like lots of application right now, I can say, using in the real in the event driven architecture. If you have any knowledge on this, please comment it down. Thank you.